Hey everybody, Jeremy here. So today in the Ninja Foodi XL oven, I'm going to be trying one of the recipes straight out of the cookbook. I'm going to be trying this cereal French toast. I can go for some French toast right now, and this looks like it's going to be a pretty easy recipe to do. So I'm going to follow the instructions almost to a T here, and we're going to see how this turns out. Now what I have here for the French toast is some French brioche bread. It's all sliced. I got this from Target, and brioche bread tends to be, well, on the expensive side when it comes to regular bread. This one was $6, yikes. And then also in the ingredients, they want you to use what they call sugar-coated flake cereal. And I was like, well, that sounds like Frosted Flakes to me. So I got myself some Frosted Flakes. Now this is 4 cups inside of this bag. The recipe in the book calls for making 8 servings of this cereal French toast. I don't need that much. I'm only going to do 4. So I basically cut the recipe in half so that I can just do 4. So 4 cups of this. They also want 3 eggs. I'm going to use 1 and see what happens. And then also they want us to have some sweetened coconut milk. Basically, it says 2 cans of it. That's 13.5 ounces each. So I am going to cut that in half. I'm only going to use what's the equivalent of 1 can, which is about 1.6 cups or so. And I don't like coconut milk, so instead I'm going to be using this Blue Diamond almond milk. And yeah, so let's see. Let's get this all started. And actually, before you start, one thing that you can do, especially if you have kids, you put the cereal inside of a bag like this, and then you crush it. I'm not going to keep doing it because it's going to blow out the mic. But if you got kids, let them do this part because it's fun. Take out some frustrations in a nice, constructive way that actually helps people. All right, so I'm going to get this crushed up, and then I'm going to mix together the wet ingredients. So I got the cereal all crushed up here. I'm going to put it over to the side, and I'm just going to mix all this stuff up, following the instructions here. I have not made this before. This is going to be the first time that I've tried it. So I'm just like you if you were trying it inside of your kitchen. All right, so since I'm cutting everything in half, I'm going to do about 1.5 cups of this almond milk, and I'm going to put it inside of my big red plastic bowl. This measuring cup right here is half a cup. I cannot find the one that's a whole cup, so I'm just going to have to do this 3 times. So that's a half a cup, that's 1 cup. And a little overspill. Okay, cool. All right, so that's about 1.6, give or take, I don't know. And now we are going to crack this egg, throw this egg over in there. Down goes the egg. And now what we need to also do is have a little bit of cinnamon. So we need about 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. I'm not gonna measure this out, I'm just gonna, sure, that's probably more than 1/2 teaspoon, but whatever. All right, now let's mix all this up. I'm going to be using the Ninja Foodi pan that came with the oven, and I also got some Pam here. I'm going to spray some Pam on here just so, you know, help with the sticking if it's going to stick. Awesome. All right, so now I'm going to take the brioche bread, which is slightly off camera. Here we go. I'm going to dunk it in here. Then I'm going to put it through this, and then we're going to put it there on the pan. Let me tell you, this brioche bread, it's so delicate and it's so soft, and I really do like brioche. But man, these ones here, some of them have holes in them, like pretty big holes. And I just feel like I'm going to be paying $6 a loaf. Can I get some bread that doesn't have massive holes in the middle? I mean, what's that going to do when you go to make a sandwich and you got a giant hole in it? All right, so I'm just going to coat these as best I can, and it definitely does look like we're going to be using all of these breadcrumbs. And it also seems like this is going to be a pretty messy ordeal. And you got to be super delicate because, like I said, this brioche is like super soft. All right, so that's what that's going to look like. I'm going to do the other 3, and then I'll come back once we're ready to throw it inside of the oven. All right, so this is what they look like. Like I said, I had to be really, really careful because this bread, once it got wet with that mixture, it just wanted to fall apart. So I needed to just handle it with care. This one, oh man, if I picked it up, it'll probably just fall into pieces, but the rest of them held up all right, you know, not too bad. All right, now let's take this over to the oven. So I'm going to turn it on. We're going to be using the air fryer function of this. So I'm gonna just take this over to air fry, rack level 3, that's great. I'm gonna need to do it at 425 degrees for 20 minutes. And let's preheat this. So it's finished preheating, but I do want to do one thing, because even though the oven says on air fryer to put it on rack level 3, the recipe book actually says rack level 2 and rack level 4, because they're assuming that you're going to be doing 8, and so they wanted you to use the air frying basket and the baking tray. But I am just going to be using the baking tray, and for that they said put it on level 2, so that's what I'm going to do. And now just going to slide our cereal toast, what's this called? Cereal French toast in here, close it up, start it back, and man, we'll see how this turns out. As it progresses, I'm going to show you what it looks like, and of course when it's done, we're going to take a bite, or 2 or 3 or 10. So we're a little over 12 minutes in right now, and yeah, it's looking pretty decent. Honestly, it looks pretty much the same. You know, the flakes on the outside are starting to get a nice golden brown. Nothing appears to be like burnt at the moment. But yeah, we're definitely going to just let it go for the entire 20 minutes and see what happens, unless things get pretty hairy. But so far, so good. So I decided to cut it off when there's 2 minutes and 9 seconds left, because it's starting to look a little bit dark, a little bit too dark for my liking. So I'm gonna take this out. Hopefully it's not too bad. So here we go. Got them out of the oven, and we're gonna do a little bit of a taste test. Got them out, I think, just in the nick of time, because they were starting to go over into the burnt side a little bit. So I don't know about 20 minutes, maybe having it in there for about 17 minutes is probably the sweet spot. But let's just go ahead, let's grab them. It's very, very crunchy. And I'm just gonna cut this right down the middle just to make sure it's done all the way through. Yes, yes it is. All right, I got myself some syrup. Now, I don't know how you guys do it. Do you cut your pancakes, your waffles, your French toast before you put the syrup on it? Personally, I do. I don't like putting the syrup on it first, because then when you go to cut it, you gotta fight with the syrup. So I'm just going to just do this one piece and just put syrup on this one piece so I can test it out. That is unmistakably French toast. If you're doing like a blind taste test and they're like, hey, what do you think this is? Say that this is a waffle. What is this? You would say French toast. Now, the frosted flakes that these are coated in, you would think that that would make them overly sweet, but that's not the case. Even with the syrup on it, it's not overly sweet to me at all. I'm going to try a little bit without any syrup. And even this, it tastes like it needs something else. So the cereal provides a little bit of the sweetness. The brioche bread, that brings a tiny little bit of sweetness, but also some fluffiness and some softness to it. But most of the sugar is going to be coming from the syrup that you put on it. Or if you decide to put on like some whipped cream or something. I think that this can go very good with some braised, or not braised, but broiled bananas that I also did a video about. That will go really good with this. Awesome. I like it. And even if it looks a little bit burnt, trust me, it does not taste burnt. Like I said, I think we got it out of there just in time. So yeah, you guys, this was the cereal French toast recipe for the Ninja Foodi XL oven. But of course, you can use this and put it in any other kind of countertop. convection oven, and your results should be similar. But this came out very good. So I'm gonna take this upstairs. I'm gonna share this with my wife, see what she thinks about it. And yeah, so far, everything that I've tried in this oven has come out pretty good. So thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to stay safe as you possibly can. And hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. Till next time, I'm Jeremy. Talk to you later.